Hey guys, it's Rich,
And X.
and we are
Two guys talking games.
episode 16.
Yeah, man. 16. Wow. Can't
Back for another.
back for another year. First one of the year, man. That's awesome. Can't believe it.
2014, man, first episode.
Ooh.
Psyched.
How's your New Year's?
I could say I drank a lot less on New Year's than I did on Christmas.
Oh yeah.
So it was much more enjoyable.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really drink as much as I would have liked because I was getting over a stomach bug. So.
Oh, okay. Did you drink it all?
No. I had everything to make, some good drinks, some tasty adult beverages, and I couldn't use any of it because I was sick. So.
Man. Did you make it to midnight?
Yeah, I made it to midnight.
Yeah.
We celebrated it and everything, but I had nothing to drink, nothing. Couldn't really stomach anything, so I couldn't enjoy any of the good foods or anything. So it kind of sucked, But
that happens, man. That happens. We've all been there.
Yeah.
What are you playing this week?
Well, I've been doing. I was doing some Dragon's Crown, but I've switched it up a little bit. I downloaded off the PlayStation Network Terraria.
Yes.
Got it for the Vita,
Terraria.
And I'm at work on Terraria.
I remember you mentioned that a while ago.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to come out for the PlayStation, and for me to actually have chance to get it. And then Minecraft's coming out sometime in March, so it's a great game to push me from now until March. And that's all she wrote when Minecraft comes out.
Because it's a similar game, right?
Right. But this one's more side-scrolling, old school 8-bit type. Same graphics type as Minecraft and stuff. It's pretty cool. So it's a pretty cool game. It's a good game to pass the time. It's not Minecraft. It really isn't. I mean, they got some cool concepts. They added some bosses and they added a lot of enemies, and it's okay. It's just Minecraft is a different beast in its own right.
Yeah, it's just not as good probably because I haven't heard as much about it, but after you mentioned it some time ago,
yeah,
I did check it out and I saw something on the 360 marketplace. I don't know if they're advertising something or gameplay or something. I don't know what it was. But Terraria, huh?
Yeah.
And, let me just say something about Dragon's Crown. Huh. I saw our buddy there, James Moody.
Yeah.
He posted today on Facebook. It said, if you're not playing Dragon's Crown, you need to reevaluate your life.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Dragon's Crown's a beast, man. It's a one hell of a game. If you play it online, you're able to play with, you're able to play with other people that are on the Vita and people that are on the PS3. So
wow.
it's pretty cool, man. It's a really cool game.
I might have to check that out, man.
It's a cool game, man.
Yeah, huh? Yeah, I saw that. I was laughing. I had to like that because we were just talking about that. You were just talking about that last week.
Yeah.
So it must be a good game, man.
That's an awesome game, man.
I have been absolutely fixated on Diablo 3.
Yeah, that's all you've done?
Diablo 3. Well, I played, again, a lot of Battlefield 4 multiplayer.
Okay.
Call of Duty Ghosts multiplayer. Haven't touched either campaign. But Diablo 3, I'm probably... Now, mind you, I played the demo from start to finish probably 3 times, and the demo is probably 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, wow.
So and I thought that was all of... Yeah, it really. It's talk about getting your money's worth in free demo. So, I thought that was Act 1 because there's 4 acts. I'm probably about 12 hours in, and this is why I didn't even finish the game. It was my RPG of the year. 12 hours in, and I'm not even close to finishing Act 1. My nephew Gio was over for the last week, and he basically just sat aside me and just watched me play. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Awesome game,
Constantly being rewarded for your gameplay.
Oh, wow.
Constantly. It's the game that keeps on giving, and that is one of my honorable mentions about
so what does it do? It drops like different weapons, different armors, and you pick up and stuff?
Yeah. Let me say, Borderlands, from what Gio told me, Borderlands
Yeah.
modeled a lot of their loot system
Yeah.
After Diablo.
Oh wow, really?
Which is kind of cool. Because you'll notice when loot drops, it almost looks like it does in Borderlands, where it's like you have to dig it up, kind of like
Yeah.
it's that model. Yeah, constantly dropping stuff where you can't even carry it all. Then you pick up a rare weapon, and a rare weapon's a yellow.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
Borderlands.
So it is an excellent game, and
cool, man.
Yeah. I'll talk about the one of my honorable mentions later when we get to the topic. I do have a couple pieces of news to share with you.
Okay.
China bans Battlefield 4.
Oh, yeah.
Calls it a threat to national security.
The fuck is wrong with China? Damn. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
What I miss? It's a game, man.
Yeah, it's a game, but it kind of sucks when the enemy is China. You know what I mean? And
I don't mean to laugh.
There's maps called Siege of Shanghai. You know what I mean? Let's ban this game.
Oh, I guess for them, rightfully so. I guess I can't pick on them. I guess I live in America. And there's another piece of news. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but there's a guy, 43-year-old Michael Thomason.
Mm-hmm.
He's a New York resident who owns 11,000 video game titles worth approximately $800,000. And they had like this little blurb and pictures of his collection. It looks like where all his stuff is stored. It looks like it's a store, like a video game store. He's got stuff. He mentioned. I wish I had some names of some of the consoles he mentioned that were some of his rare consoles.
Mm-hmm.
I've never even heard of these things before.
Hmm.
I mean, that are worth so much money, and games that are worth so much money. The funny thing is, I was telling my daughter Mariah, the older one, about this, and she gave me a look. I go, "What?" And she says, "Is he single?" and I said, "I think he is." And she says, "I thought so."
Come on, man.
I'm like, don't be hating on the gamer.
Freaking hating on the gamer.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all good.
Like,
it's all good, man. But she better be careful. There's so many gamers these days. She's gonna end up marrying a gamer. Odds are, man. Odds are.
They say, daughters try to marry someone like to model after their dad.
Yep.
And I'm a gamer.
You're a gamer, yeah.
I mean, I don't have 11,000 games, but I was blown away, man. I was like checking out the article. I was like, dang, look what he's got.
That's awesome.
He said he spends, oh my gosh, I think he said he has a $3,000 yearly budget on games. He buys like, I don't know how many games per month. And his preference is the Xbox 360. Yeah, out of all the stuff. So it's the thing he's been playing the most. But I just thought that was interesting. That's quite a collection, man.
Wow, that is one hell of a collection. One hell of a collection. Man. Damn.
Wow.
I would love to be in that collection room for one day and just play whatever the hell I want. Because I know I'll be playing some old games I've played before. And I'm like, oh, man, I remember this,
I was thinking the same thing, man. I would love to be just like a kid in a candy store. Just hang out there for a day.
Yeah, just give me a day, man. Just give me a day pass.
Yeah, man. He should actually charge for people to come in and check that out.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Yeah.
Just like a museum. Just check it out. And, I thought that was crazy. But anyway, well, our topic of this week, we're coming out swinging, man. 2014.
2014.
We got a pretty big title.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Top 10 games of all time. Man.
All time.
Of all video game history.
Yep.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, pretty much. Of your video game history.
Yeah. Now, you had mentioned before the show you had some honorable mentions as well.
Yes, I have quite a few. I have 9 honorable mentions. It was tough, man. It was really tough. Really tough. So
why don't you, because I only have probably 3 or 4 honorable mentions, so why don't you start and tell me which ones didn't make the top 10 list?
All right, I say my 9 that did not make the top 10. Okay. One of them is the original Mortal Kombat. Now, mind you, when this game came out, man, I dropped so many damn quarters on that arcade. The game was huge. It made headlines. If you did not experience, if you're not old enough to have experienced Mortal Kombat when it first came out in the late '80s, early '90s time, man, you really missed something because it's pretty much the game that changed a lot of the gaming today. It really did. With all its gore at the time, it was like, oh my god, that's really gory and this and that. It made these huge headlines because back then, I mean, it was a huge leap from people playing Nintendo and Super Nintendo in their homes, which there's nothing wrong with it because that's what I was doing, to now you're playing Super Nintendo and now they have this game called Mortal Kombat for it, and Nintendo had to dumb it down and remove the blood, turn it into sweat, and
Yeah.
and Sega did the opposite. Sega was like, you know what, we're geared more towards the older audience, and so they had the Genesis, and in their Genesis you could put in a code and it'll unlock like the true version with all the real fatalities, all the blood and everything. Because I remember the Super Nintendo version had switched some of the fatalities for it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I mean
I didn't know they had that.
it was a huge game, man, back then, and that whole controversial thing. So that game made didn't make the top 10 for me, but it was one hell of a game, and it was definitely an honorable mention for me.
Mm, mm,
Another game for me, of course, is Legend of Legaia. You've heard me speak of this game
mm.
for the
Yes.
original PlayStation. One hell of a game. Um,
Yeah.
Castlevania Simon's Quest for the NES.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that was one of my first huge RPGs. Uh, 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 that was fighting to get into the top 10. That was like my
Yeah.
first honorable mention. That was Castlevania Simon's Quest. It's one hell of a game. I'm waiting for Nintendo to put it on their eShop because
Yeah.
I'll pick it up for my 3DS or for the Wii U or something.
So they don't have it available for any
No,
current okay.
no. Um,
Mm.
Again, another game that made honorable mentions for me, and it's another fighting game. Um, X-Men versus Street Fighter. They actually
Oh
did
wow.
a cross of X-Men characters versus Street Fighter's characters, and it was a huge fighting game. Love that
Hmm.
game for the original PlayStation. I actually still have it. Um, Bioshock.
Oh, that didn't make your top 10, huh?
Bioshock did not make my top 10. Now
Wow.
I
Okay.
love Bioshock, but
Yeah.
it did not make my top 10. Neither did Gears of War and Shadowrun. Those are all three
Okay.
are honorable mentions for me. Mass
Mm-hmm.
Effect 1 as well is
Mm-hmm.
another honorable mention, along with The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker.
Okay.
Rounds out my honorable mentions.
Those are some great
Yeah,
games, man.
yeah, it was tough, man. It
Wow.
was tough. That's why I had to put them all into my honorable mentions.
Yeah, instead of the top 10. I don't have quite as many honorable mentions as you do, but I do have, I'll just say, arcade games were Miss Pac Man and Asteroids. And I did have Gears 3,
Hmm.
Gears of War 3, just because of the overall package and how much I think that they gave you for $60. I did have Shadowrun. Um, I had Pitfall for the Atari 2600.
Yeah, I remember Pitfall. That was awesome.
Oh man, I played the crap out of that game. I actually have that game now in my game room on my Xbox
Oh
360.
yeah, Pitfall.
I purchased that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was on there. I was looking to see if they had it, but they didn't have Rygar. Remember
Yep.
Rygar for the arcade? Rygar,
What kind
yeah.
of game was
It
that?
was a side scrolling. You had like the shield and it came out with like this little chain thing and you jump and you shoot.
Really?
And it also came out a little different version came out for the NES, which I also have that one. And then they had remade it for the Wii a couple years ago.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Rygar. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if I saw it, I would recognize it. But yeah, it kind of sounds familiar. But yeah, those are basically my honorable mentions. I did have, I believe, oh gosh, what was the other one I had on there? But I don't even have it on this list. Newer game, The Last of Us,
Okay.
PS3. Didn't make my top 10, but I just felt the need to mention because the story was so good. So that was it for the honorable mentions. Now, X, do you have? Now I'm really interested to hear your top 10 because some of your honorable mentions were what I thought were going to be in your top 10. Do
Ah.
you have 10 to 1, or is there no order for
There is
these?
no order for mine.
Okay, so you just had a 10 game
10
that you.
games.
Okay.
10
Okay,
games.
so why don't you shoot? I did a 10 down to 1
Okay.
count for me. I was able to come up with an actual first title that I love the most. But why don't you just start off with one of your 10 and we'll go from there.
Okay, one of my 10 is The Legend of Zelda, the original for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
So it's just called The Legend of
It's
Zelda.
called the original. It's The Legend of Zelda, man. And I remember you would put it in, and you see the little waterfall with the sword, and you hear that music, and you know you're about to play some Zelda, and you know you're going to play a great game. Anybody who's ever played the original Zelda on the old Nintendo, you're blowing that cartridge, you're putting it in, and you know you're going to have hours of fun coming up, man. It was awesome. It was so many different things, so many hidden areas that you would have to. I remember going into the dungeons and putting bombs on the walls to try to find little hidden passages, you know. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I mean, the Legend of Zelda, the original, the Legend of Zelda it holds a place in my heart, and that's definitely on my top 10 list.
Now, what year do you think that came out?
That came out in, ooh, man,
Hmm.
I know it's 80s, it's mid 80s, either between 86 and 88.
Oh, going back that far?
Yeah.
I was gonna say 90s.
No, 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 no.
Really?
No, no,
Wow.
no, no. Yeah, that's NE
Was it
and
NES?
yeah, NES was all 80s.
Okay. Okay. So that was wow. That's going back, man. Huh?
Yeah.
I never got a chance to
No,
play the original.
that
I'm
sucks.
telling
That
you.
sucks, man. If you ever pick up a 3DS, they have it on the eShop. Pick it
Mm-hmm.
up, man.
Yeah.
For $5, it is definitely worth it, man. It is. Actually, your daughter should have it on her 3DS.
Right. I was gonna
She
say.
should have it.
Okay. You know, and that reminds me. I should have mentioned this in the beginning of the show. Um, I feel a need to at some point go back and play some of these retro games that I never had a chance to play. The perfect place to pick this stuff up would be at this place in Southington called the Gaming Source.
Yes, 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 yes.
Um, you know,
I've taken a look at that, man, and I've gone and
yeah,
I've checked them out online. I'm planning on heading over there. I saw a game that I haven't played in years for my Super Nintendo. I don't have
yeah.
it anymore, and I would like it in my library. And that game is X-Men.
Oh, okay, okay.
That was
Well,
an awesome
chances
game.
are they have it because I went in there last week. I was talking to the guy, and they really specialize in retro gaming. And man, I was just all smiles. I was
Yeah,
just like,
man.
I could just drop a couple bills in there easily, man. So if anyone's in the Connecticut area, you definitely want to check out the Gaming Source in Southington. Great shop, great store. Um, all right, well I'll just do. I'll obviously give you my number 10 is Deus Ex: Invisible War,
Mm.
which came out for the original Xbox and PC only. Um, this came out actually, I believe, a week or two after Halo 2 came out, and kind of bought it on a whim. I was hesitant to pick it up when it came out, but it turned out to be one of the best games I've ever played on the original Xbox. And speaking of the gaming source, when I was in there last week, they had an original Xbox, and I'm thinking for $35, I should just go in there and pick it up, just to play Invisible War again.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why it's number 10 and not higher up on a list is because the problem with the game was they had some technical problems with the game. It was a little glitchy here and there. I think because the game was ahead of its time. It was kind of like a Mass Effect looking game, but it was from a first person perspective.
Yeah.
But it had a lot of RPG elements, and what an excellent game.
Mm.
So that's my number 10 on my top 10.
Okay.
So what else you got here?
Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube.
Mario Kart Double Dash.
That has to be my most favorite Mario Kart. Now, I've played every single one. All 7. It's up to Mario 7 for the 3DS. But I've played every single one, all the Mario Karts, and my most favorite one is Mario Kart Double Dash. It was it was so awesome how they set it up where you're not only controlling one character, but you're controlling two. It was two
Mm.
characters per cart, and one would hold
Mm-hmm.
on to the back, and that one would be the one throwing all the little items at other people, at the other players.
Yeah.
And you're able to switch on a whim and switch between drivers, and one person could grab, and have all these things, and if you don't want to use it, switch and use the other person. That way you could save, like, let's say you get a mushroom or something.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
able to switch and leave it for the other person. That way, you can switch and get something else. It was
What?
so freaking awesome. I have it. I have it for my GameCube, and I've played the hell out of that game. Now, GameCube came out around the time that I first got with my wife,
Right.
and her sisters, man, they were little at the time, and so I
Yeah.
was like, let's do this. I
Oh
picked
man.
up I picked up the GameCube for my wife.
Yeah. It's a
It
perfect
was a
time.
birthday present for her. I bought, everything, got all the controllers, went over there, and we just had so much fun with the game, and with
Oh
that system.
wow.
It was a wrap. Mario Kart Double Dash, for me, it's such an awesome game. And if you haven't
Yeah.
played it and you played some of the other Mario Karts, Mario Kart Double Dash is definite a game that you should pick up and play.
You know, I was mentioning that guy earlier, that 43-year-old Michael Thomason. How many systems do you own? Speaking of,
Who,
some
me?
retro stuff. Yeah, I was just thinking you got a
Uh,
lot of because I hear you mention a lot. Well, I still got my so and so and
yeah, I
you
got
know,
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
oh my
16.
gosh.
I like almost 20 systems.
So you got the NES.
The NES, the Super NES, the Nintendo 64, the GameCube, the Wii, the Wii U, the Game Boy, the original Game Boy, the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy SP, the
Mm-hmm.
Game Boy 3DS, the Game Boy DS. I also have
You don't
the.
have Sega, do you?
I do. I have. We have the Genesis, and we have the Dreamcast. We also have
Wow.
the uh, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and the original Xbox. And I also
Wow.
have the Game Gear, and the PlayStation Vita. Uh, I think that's it.
3DS,
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
DS.
said the 3DS and the DS.
Oh, you don't. Okay, yeah. That.
Yeah.
Jeez, just thinking about that, I'm like, dang, you must have a lot of stuff stored, man. That's good. You go back to it anytime,
Yeah.
pop it out and. All right. Well, let's see. Number 9 for me. Let's just take a look here. Because I got my list. I got to scroll a bit. My 9 is. Let's see. Wow, it's a long list. Here it is, right here. It is Hitman Absolution. For me, the Hitman series got it right with this one. The controls were spot on, which I found has always been a problem with this series. Always been a problem. And it's one of the few games I have all achievements for.
Yeah.
For for me that's
Yeah, that's
rare.
that's huge. I knew that game was gonna be on there for you. But I know you're such a
Yeah,
big fan of that one specific game. You're like, oh man, Hitman Absolution, Hitman Absolution.
dude. In the past Hitman games, like say like Blood Money, the one that came out before that, it would have like a prompt, like it would say like you look up the control scheme, and it'll say like say press X to put the wire around someone's neck.
Hmm.
So you go up to someone, you press X, and like you do the motion like you're putting around their neck, but you'd miss.
Mm.
You'd like be almost like going through their character with the wire,
Yeah.
and then the character would like just turn around and like shoot you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are the controls so bad? If they can come out with a Hitman game where it says press X, and when you do it actually does something, it's going to be a great series. And finally, when Absolution came out, everything was spot on, man. It was just, it was just so good to finally see them get it right,
Mm.
and that's why it's number 9 for me.
Well,
What else you got?
next one for me. Now this one and the other one started a whole gaming just franchise, just this huge legacy. And for me, it's got to be the one that I have, and I have every single one of them in it, and that's Pokemon
Yeah.
Blue from my original Game Boy.
Oh, okay.
Pokemon Blue.
Okay.
Yep. So I gotta bust out those 4 batteries, pop them in my Game Boy, and start playing my Game Boy.
I thought you were gonna say something
You know.
else.
What?
I won't tell you what I was. I thought you were gonna say Halo for some reason.
No, 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 no,
When you
no,
said the whole,
no.
legacy, whatever.
Man,
Okay.
for Pokemon, you know how many games have come out? Pokemon games have come out,
I can only imagine. Got to be at
dude.
least what,
It's
six, eight,
no, 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 no,
10?
no.
Oh,
Keep
more,
going,
more, huh?
dude. I'm
Really?
talking about like they've had so many games of Pokemon
Yeah.
come out. They've had
Yeah.
little branches come out and do trying to they had Pokemon Safari thing with the pictures for the 64, I believe it was, and you would be on a little cart and you'd be, you know,
Yeah.
running around and you take pictures of all these different Pokemons and you or battle or Pokemon Coliseum and stuff like that.
Mm.
It's a huge franchise. Pokemon's a huge franchise, dude.
Wow.
And when they don't come out, when
Wow.
they come out with one Pokemon, they always come out with 2 at a time, and they're 2 different games. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
like the X and Y.
Right, right.
Yep.
It's red and blue, yellow and green, and silver and black or gold and whatever, gold and silver, and black and white.
Yeah.
It was just like
Oh
it's
man.
just yeah,
All right.
Pokemon,
Jeez. Pokemon.
yeah,
Okay.
Pokemon.
Let's see. Number 8 for me, Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Oblivion. What can I say about Oblivion that I haven't already said? Um, it's got to be my favorite RPG of all time. No, I'm playing it again now.
Yeah,
So, and it's not. I probably won't play the whole thing through again, but it's a lot of these games are the memories, how I felt when I played it. If a game keeps you coming back for, close to 400 hours, there's got to be something there that's keeping you
yeah.
coming back. It was the music. It was the specific music in specific areas. It was going into the dungeons and just exploring and getting to that next level. And it was the world. It was the era it was in. It was just I liked Skyrim, but I really can't say much more about Oblivion. It's my number 8.
And on the same type of topic on that, for me, my next one, of course, is Fallout 3.
Okay,
Fallout 3,
that
same
was an honorable mention. I
same
forgot to
thing,
tell you.
man. Fallout 3
Yes.
for me,
Yep.
that game is huge for me, and that
Yeah.
that that game made top 10 for me
I
of
would
all
have been
time.
surprised if you didn't say that.
Yeah, no, Fallout, man. You know how I am with Fallout 3. That thing is
Yeah.
phenomenal, phenomenal,
Yeah, Fallout 3 was an excellent game, man.
phenomenal.
Excellent. Do you remember I told you how many times we spoke about this before too? How I actually felt depressed when I
Yeah,
played it because
yeah,
the world was so real to
yeah.
me. It really, I just was drawn in, man. I was just like, wow, excellent game. Bethesda's got to be on top for the RPGs
Yeah.
developers,
Oh
man.
yeah, definitely.
They
Definitely. They
really
they
do.
definitely know how to make a freaking good ass RPG.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Um, Number 7 for me is Manhunt.
Ah. I'd be
Mm.
surprised if Manhunt wasn't on there for you.
Oh my gosh, tell
That's
me about it, man. I
Manhunt,
just
man.
played it last summer for probably the 5th or 6th time. This game was developed by Rockstar. Came out it came out April of 2004. So now you're talking 10 years and I still play it. Just a creepy game filled with senseless violence, and it just the reviews when it came out. I remember GameSpot, probably if you want to look it up, they gave it the game like a 4 or 4.5, and then you'd go on to other websites and they gave it like an 8 or 9. It
Yeah.
was the strangest thing, man. It just you either loved it or you hated it,
Yep. Yep.
and just I absolutely loved it. I just got so attached to it, man. So that's my number 7, Manhunt.
Yeah.
Um,
For me, my next one I would have to say is Minecraft.
oh yeah,
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Minecraft for me,
Okay.
it's definitely in the top 10. Uh, that game, it allows me to express myself and use my creativity in a very awesome way. And
Mm-hmm.
and I hope you're able to go into Minecraft one day that you finally decide to pick it up.
Yeah, yeah.
And we go and I show you all these places that I've made, man. It's freaking phenomenal. I love Minecraft. Love
That's
Minecraft.
one of the games that got away from me. Yeah, I always want, and the reason why I didn't pick it up already was because of me being afraid of the length
Yeah.
of just how immersed I was going to get into the world and the creation of things and yeah, it's one that it's almost now I'm thinking, geez, should I just wait until the Xbox One until I get one of those or the PlayStation 4? I think it is. Isn't it coming to the PS4?
Yes, it is. Minecraft is
Right, it
coming. Yeah.
is. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Because it wasn't on the PS3.
Right, right. PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita is getting Minecraft, and that's why I'm waiting for that junk to come out to the Vita. That's it, man. It's gonna be a wrap. I'm gonna be on Minecraft at work.
So actually, you should just. So you're probably not going to get it for the Xbox One.
Oh, I am,
Oh,
because
you are.
that'll be separate for when I'm at home and I have nothing else.
Okay.
I'm nothing I'm interested in playing, and my kids actually like Minecraft as well. They call it the blocks game. They're like,
Yeah.
Daddy, you gonna play the blocks game? I'm like, you mean Minecraft? Yeah, the blocks game. I'm like,
That
yeah,
is funny.
Minecraft.
Well, what I was thinking was if you got it for the Vita, and then eventually when you do pick up a PS4, you could play what you've already accomplished on a Vita. You could just move it over to the PS3 or PS4 rather. Could you do that? I'm thinking.
I don't know. I don't
They
know.
have that
I
option.
don't know
Okay.
if the PlayStation Vita is gonna be a compatible version.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or it's gonna have its own little portable version. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right. Separate
yeah,
version
I
of the
don't know.
PS4.
On
Okay.
the so
Yeah, you have to wait and see what happens with
yeah.
that. My number 6, Dark Souls.
Yes, Dark Souls. Dark Souls was actually
Oh, Dark
my
Souls.
honorable mention. The other one
Oh,
I
it's not
was
on your 10.
no, no,
Okay.
but yeah, Dark Souls was definitely yep.
Okay. Had to put this on the top 10. The hardest game I've ever played over and over again. The game I love to hate outside of the almost completely absent story. Dark Souls to me was nearly perfect in every category, and I will say just for kicks, I started playing it again. I don't know how far I'm going to get into it, if I'm even going to play the whole thing through. I just ripped through, got the Drake sword, got a little past that portion of the
Yeah,
game. Just to, I went down and at a level 17, I gave Havel a serious bitch slap.
yeah,
Absolutely no problem. It's amazing how the first time I fought Havel in a game, I was a level 42 and I had a difficult time killing him. I go in and Gio's my nephew sitting next to me and he's like, "You're level 17. Go down and take care of him." I'm like, "Dude, he's gonna wipe the floor with me, man." He goes, "No. You know what to do now. Go downstairs, go where he is, and just backstab him over and over again." Absolutely no problem. No
yeah,
problem. So I was. Plus, I'm so psyched because you got it. 8 weeks from now,
yeah.
Dark Souls 2.
Oh yeah,
So it's
can't wait for
I'm
that.
kind of getting into the
I'm keeping my ears in the ground. Hopefully they have they come out with a next gen version. If they do, that's the one I'm going to pick up.
I
You
think
know,
eventually they are. They didn't say day one, but they said eventually. I think they are going to put it on the new consoles. I'm not sure if it's going to be on day one, but in any case, that was my number 6 pick. So what else you got?
all right, now these next ones are actually in order for me,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
from five down.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So my number five, I have to say, is, and it's really tough. It's really tough. I have to say Final Fantasy X for the PlayStation 2.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
it was between this one and another one. The other one just beat it out for number 4 spot. Final Fantasy X for the PlayStation 2. Such an awesome game. Such an awesome RPG. It was like finally, after playing Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 9, when 10 came out, you just felt like finally it's perfect. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
bam, they did the Final Fantasy perfect, and that was Final Fantasy X for me. They
Yeah.
just knocked it out the park. it was just awesome. And I'm actually waiting to pick up the remake for the Vita.
Mm.
It's coming
Oh, they're
out.
remaking
Oh
it for the
yeah,
Vita.
for the Vita and the PlayStation. So I'll be picking that up when it comes out in
Oh,
HD.
okay.
The
Yeah,
Final Fantasy X HD remake. Yeah,
HD version. Okay, that's your number five.
that's my number 5.
Okay. Five is, for me, Max Payne,
Mm-hmm.
the original. Probably one of my favorite game worlds of any game. Max Payne was one of the first games I played on the PS2, and it's another title I keep in my library to this day, just in case I want to play it again, which I most definitely will. I loved the whole New York cop gone, not gone bad, but gone nuts, and I just loved the New York environment. It just, and that's why I didn't like Max Payne 3 as much. They tried to be really diverse with the areas. You know, he was in Brazil, and he was all, he shaved his head, and you know, I know Rockstar did a good job with the game, but it's Max Payne 1 and 2, but I had to pick the original to be my number 5. Great series, great game, love it, love it, love it.
Okay.
So, what's your 4?
My number 4 of favorite top game of all time, Metal Gear
Mm-hmm.
Solid PlayStation 1. That to me was such an awesome game.
Mm-hmm.
I devoured that game. That and when the VR missions came out, I picked up that game as well, just so I could play in that world. I
Yeah.
love that whole tactical espionage aspect of it. Knocking on the walls to have the enemies, attract the enemies and have them check around so that way you could go around and knock them out,
Yeah.
and or set up traps for them, set up a claymore, or set up some C4 or something. It was such an awesome game. I must have played that game. Oh my God, so many times, over and over and over and over. I didn't even care. I had to switch out the discs. You know,
Mm.
it was
Mm.
that good. It was such an awesome game. Metal Gear
Really?
Solid for the PlayStation 1. Yes.
The
The
original
original.
Metal Gear.
Yes.
Oh, dang. All right, that's your number
That's my
4,
number.
right? We're on 4.
That is my number 4.
All right. Well, my 4 is a fourth game in a series, and that's Resident Evil 4.
Ah.
Yeah, as you know, I picked up a GameCube just to play this game. Um, I've kept track of how many times I've played this game. I've played it 12 times on the GameCube. I played it once on the PlayStation 2, and twice on my 360 redone in HD. I've shown this game some serious love. 15 playthroughs. Um, I just, we've talked about this before. Resident Evil 4 was groundbreaking to me. In the GameSpot review, what made me want to buy it was they gave it a 9.5, and I remember when I read the review, the guy had said, Resident Evil 4 is such a good game, it's not fair how good the game is when compared to other games. It's not fair. It's like a not an even playing field. That's what he was trying to say. It was that good. It was like it's on its own
Yeah.
pedestal. Now you've played the game, right?
Yes, I have.
Before,
Yes, I have.
yeah, you've.
Yes, I have.
All right. So that was my number 4. I had to give Resident Evil 4 some love in this list.
Well, see,
So
my number 3 is a
hmm
Resident Evil game, but it is
okay,
not Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil, for me, my number 3 is my most favorite Resident Evil of all time, which is Resident Evil 2. The whole
okay.
switch between Leon and Claire,
hmm
oh my God, it was the first. I never played before that. I never played Resident Evil 1. It was the first Resident Evil game I played, and I fell in love with it. The whole zombies, the whole that for me started the whole zombie genre for me. That
Awesome.
was the game.
Really?
That was the game when you go into the gun shop there, and the guy's holding you up, with a shotgun, telling you hold it right there, and you know you're doing all these things, and you're telling him, oh, you're a human, and don't shoot and stuff, and then the guy goes, oh, okay, and then he goes and locks the door, and
Mm-hmm.
then typical zombie outbreak. Zombies break through the window and just eat the guy. While he's right there,
Oh,
man. It's just freaking awesome. It is just awesome, dude. That game,
oh man.
that game was
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal. The first time I saw Liquor, they got the whole cinematic, and he's up on the ceiling, and he's coming at you. It's just phenomenal. You're running down the hallway, and then the arms stick out, and they grab you, and you got to get away, and it was
Yeah.
just awesome. It was just awesome, man. Brings back so many memories. Resident Evil 2 for the original PlayStation 1. Awesome game.
Oh man.
That's my
I
number
did
3.
play an old Resident Evil game on, I believe, the GameCube. That I don't know if it was you or Gio, my nephew, who wanted me to play it, and I played like the first hour of it, and I never went back to it. But um, I think that might have been the first one, though.
It was either
I
it
could
was
be wrong.
either one because it was remade for the GameCube or Resident Evil 0.
It
So
was one then. It was one. It wasn't. It wasn't two. It was definitely one, because I would remember the title if it was zero. So that is your number
that's my
three.
number 3.
Okay. My number three is Mass Effect 2.
Ah,
I my opinion, this is the best game in the trilogy. BioWare was spot on with everything in this game. I liked one, but technically it had some issues that bothered me. Three was good. I wasn't crazy about it. I definitely wasn't crazy about the whole multiplayer. I think they ruined it with multiplayer personally. Two was just. I mean, I played it multiple times too, like you did with the first one.
yeah.
I just played it over and over again. I just thought it was just so good, so solid. The choices and just, oh, I just excellent, excellent game, man. My number three, Mass Effect 2.
Now
Mm-hmm.
my number 2 might come as a shock, but this
Mm.
game solidified gaming for me for over the past 10 years. Over 10 years. We're looking at right now 13 years. Uh, since the first time I saw this game, I went out, bought the system, and play and just to play this one game. Uh, I jumped ship,
Mm.
and I've been on that game and followed the storyline, read all the books, and for me, my number 2 game is Halo. My
Okay.
number 2 game is Halo. I mean, I've I've followed the storyline. I've owned every single game. I could say that now that I have
Yeah.
Spartan Assault.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
It is such an awesome world, an awesome universe. It's so engulfing, and it's a phenomenon. It is. Halo
Yeah.
is a huge phenomenon. You cannot deny that. You can hate it all you want, but the bottom line is Halo, and Halo 1 is one of the
Mm-hmm.
best games of all time. And for me,
Yeah.
it's my number 2.
I don't know why. I really wrestled with putting Halo in my top 10. Halo 4 was an honorable mention for me because of the package of all the. It's like, what do you do first?
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure why Halo didn't make my top 10 because I had a similar experience than you did when it first came out. I waited about a year. I didn't get the Xbox until '02, but when I started playing Halo, it was just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It was just, an experience like no other. And I really do believe Halo is what put Microsoft on the
Oh
map.
yeah.
Without Halo, I'm not sure they would have had the success that
Yeah, I
they
don't
have to this
I don't
day.
think so
It
either. Yeah.
just. But I don't know why it didn't make my top 10. But that's your number two, huh? Halo, the original
Okay,
Halo.
original Halo.
Okay. My number two is Bioshock.
Oh.
Um, Countless playthroughs from August 2007 to present. Game that I just can't get sick of. One of the few games, again, that I have all the achievements for. Um, I think most people who play this game will agree there is really not much to dislike. in BioShock. The only reason why it wasn't moved up to number one was because of the ending. I thought the ending. I'm not giving any spoilers. The game is 7 years old, so I just thought the ending was just like so cliche and just it almost made a perfect game slightly imperfect. So that's why it's my number two. But other than that, the ending, I just thought I was just out of my mind when BioShock came out.
No, BioShock was an awesome game. That's how come it was in my honorable mentions. Very awesome game.
Yeah. Man, number one for you. I'm trying to just give me a second here. I want to see if
you would never ever be able to guess. There's only one person who would be able to guess what my number one is, and that would be my brother.
Yeah. Huh?
That would be it.
Jeez, because you got Halo as 2. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to be a game that came out in the last 10 years.
No, not at all.
Okay, so then you're right. I'm not going to be able to guess. Shoot.
My number one is a game that my brother and I played co-op over and over and over and over. It was so awesome. It was around the time that the Konami code was at its peak. It was its heyday. The up, down, down, left, right, select. Actually, BA and then select if you're going to do a 2-player, and then start. It had a picture of what looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger as the cover, and then this other guy. Yeah. It looked just like him. My number one game of all time. All time. Is Contra for the NES.
Contra
for the NES.
I wouldn't have guessed that, but I know the game.
Contra for the NES. Yes.
Hmm.
That was the co-op shooter. Man, that was the co-op shooter.
Hello. Just for kicks. So. Hey guys, had some technical difficulties there.
Yes.
But we're going to pick up where we left off.
Yes. My number one game of all time. I have to say it's Contra. It's Contra. My brother and I, we must have played that game on co-op so many times because, again, at that time, there was no other game out there like it. You know what I mean? There were some that were trying to be kind of like it. You had Akari Warriors. You had, some other games out there, but Contra, and it was for the original Nintendo, and the original Contra is just, man, it's just really awesome. Really, really awesome. Original Contra. If you've never played it, if you don't know what the Konami code is, then, man, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? You missed out a lot. You missed out a whole lot. It's awesome. Contra has always been just such an awesome game. So, yeah, Contra.
Yeah, if you gave me 100 guesses, I would have never guessed that was your number one pick. You're right about that. I wouldn't have guessed that. Do you have any idea what my number one pick is of all time? I mean, I have talked about this many times.
No.
And this wasn't a hard pick for me to put in first place at all, actually. All right, I'm going to go with this, man. This is my number one pick. All-time best game. If I only had one game to play, one disc to play, I would say it would be the Splinter Cell HD trilogy.
Splinter Cell trilogy, man. Damn.
Going back to that Splinter Cell trilogy, man. First 3 games remastered in high def on one disc for the PS3. 3 of the best stealth games ever created, now to be enjoyed in HD.
Are you sure? Because I'll buy it off of you.
Getting another one.
I'll buy it.
Yeah.
But my PS3
it is not for sale.
Fine.
It is not for sale, man. And you know what? The new one I get will work just fine as well.
That's awesome, man. Yep.
That is my number one pick of all time. So that's that, man. That's our. We had some. I just want to point out we had some
it dropped.
Skype just went south for us, and I'm going to do my best when I get the files together to edit the show and hopefully line us back up with the last.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be that bad. And if it is, we apologize. So just bear with us. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the plus side is
it's just the last 5 to 10 minutes.
Of the show is fine.
Went south.
So. Yeah, might be a little messed up, but who knows, man? Maybe I can work some magic and make it sound all nice and shiny and perfect. But well,
best games ever,
that is
man.
our those are our games, best games ever, best ever, man. And
man, like I said before, man, I've been playing since I was like,
with your time,
freaking, 8, 6 or 8, man,
Yeah.
No.
Back in the day. Well, you know what happened is you never had a break in the gameplay. What I did was I got the Atari 2600 and then, late 80s, all of 90s, I didn't game at all. For about 10 or 15 years. And then early 2000, I got back into it. So I missed a lot of good years. I really did, man.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is,
man. But anyway, it is what it is, right?
Yes.
That's it, man. Well, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, listening to our show. 2014 is going to be a big year for us. This is episode 16. And just continue to give us that support.
Man. Yeah, definitely.
And we will continue to bring you some good shows.
And just...
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, we are two guys talking games.
Oh, yeah. Adios.
And
Peace.
We will see you guys next week for the next episode.